What's up? What's up? This Kingz, and we right back at it like we never left, man. I just want to tap in with you today. And as always, like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, man. I want to give a special shout out to the Drip Juice. And if you thinking about getting any kind of cold pressed juice, definitely tap in with the Drip Juice, man. And it tastes good. It's great. I just got me like my order just came in and everything like that. You can find them on Instagram, right? And so I just want to talk to you because I was talking to one of my buddies, and he basically was saying, hey, how do you grow your strength, right? So we had this long conversation about how do you grow your strength. And so I just want to talk to y'all and let y'all know this is how it worked for me, right, for growing my strength, right? And a lot of people, we don't understand how do we grow our strength or anything like that, or how to develop growing our strength in our life, right? But just like a bodybuilder goes into a gym, and he goes into this gym and he goes consistently, and he goes in and he works out, he hits different machines and do different parts of his body in order to build and strengthen it up, right? That's the same thing for us. If we are trying to grow our strength in any area of our life, we have to work on different parts of our lives, right? Different areas of our life in order for us to grow our strength, in order for us to just actually find out how do we develop these areas to gain strength, right? But if we don't go and go to those gyms or go work out, we'll never know how to develop our strength. If we don't go to the library, go do research or anything like that, we won't know how to truly develop our strength and truly develop ourselves. And that's how we can understand how to grow our strengths, right? But first, we have to find out what is our weakness. What are the areas that I lack in? What are the areas that I need to improve in, and those type of things, right? And a lot of people don't understand how to go that route, right? In order to understand their true weaknesses in life, right? But in order for you to grow your strength, you have to definitely start doing research, start reading, start doing things that impact your life, enhance your life. So that way you'll know in which direction that you definitely want to go in order for you to build your strength up, right? Because strengthening ourselves is going to help us down the long run for us to reach our potential in life if we continue to develop and nurture the things that we're trying to grow in order for us to have our strength reach its full potential. And these are the things that we just have to get and understand in order for us to live our daily lives, right? Nobody wants to actually acknowledge their weakness, acknowledge that they have a fault, acknowledge those type of things, but you have to bring them to the forefront. If you're going to understand your strength, you have to understand your weakness. You have to understand where I'm lacking at in order for you to continue to go, right? And then you have to sit around people that are helping you to grow your strength, right? That are holding you accountable, and you're holding them accountable, right? Because you're both trying to develop yourselves into the greatest person that you could possibly be. But if I sit around people that are always pulling from me, right? Because we talk about vibes, we talk about energy. If I'm sitting around people that are always pulling from me and I can't never pull anything up out of them, then I'm just giving up all my resources of my energy. And that's making me lose a lot from the inside. But we have to understand that, in order for us to grow our strength, we have to continue to sit around people that are going to just definitely impact our lives, definitely going to help us grow, definitely help us reach our full potential, help us reach those areas in life where we're trying to be strong at, right? Because we all want to be strong, we all walk around, and especially as a man and as men, we're told to be strong. We're told that we're supposed to have strength. We're told that we're supposed to carry these things on. But every once in a while, we lack in certain areas that we cannot carry. So we have to get around a group of men or a situation where we can truly understand how to develop as men in order for us to be strong, right? And I understand that, this is Mother's Day weekend, and I definitely want to give a shout out to all the mothers out there, for Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day, because, without women, there wouldn't be no us, right? And my understanding of women, that they are truly strong, right? Because they've always been around and always been there with us, right? But as men, we have to understand that at an early age, we're taught that we're not supposed to cry. We're taught that we're not supposed to show any weakness. And we hide that weakness inside of us. And that kind of impairs our true strength or of the potential that we can have in this society, in this life, right? But how do I grow my strength, right? I have to continue to dig into that deep inside internal part of me in order for me to pull that out, in order for me to let that fully grow. It has to come from somewhere. It has to be nurtured. It has to be curated, right? But do I want to spend that time in actually curating and nurturing and just letting that come out? Yes, I do. If I want to be the man that I call myself to be and live the life that I'm supposed to live and say I want to live, then I have to pull those things out, right? I have to let that be out there. And you have to unlock all of this. You have to unlock it. And in order for you to unlock it, you definitely got to know, where you're trying to build your strength at, where you're trying to grow at, right? Like I said, if I was trying to develop my strength, and like people who go to the gym, they go hit the iron, right? And they just bench pressing it off their chest, bang. And they add more on to it in order for them to get stronger and stronger. That's how we're supposed to be if we're trying to be successful, if we're trying to, have that financial security, become entrepreneurs. We're going to have to press that and lift it and become stronger and stronger, right? You may have to go to webinars, go to seminars, do some online training, those type of things. If I'm going to fully understand how do I grow my strength and how do I grow to become the person that I want to be, right? And these are the things that we have to do. And this is the King's Corner. I'm just having a general conversation. This is the King Corner. This is something that I actually want to start doing, just coming out and just having a full-on conversation, And if anybody wants to join me on the King's Corner with the Conversation Kings, then you're definitely able to tap in. Just send me a message at theconversationkings@gmail.com, and I'll definitely respond to you, because these are the things that we need to talk about, right? Because I see a lot of men that are definitely trying to hold it up or trying to hold on. But where do I get that place where I can release some of this tension? Even though I'm showing on the outside that I'm strong, right? We basically have a facade to show that I'm strong. But how do I continue to grow and strengthen myself when I'm weak, when I'm mentally tired, physically tired, spiritually tired? My health is just beating me down. Where do I go in order to rebuild my strength? And who do I talk to if I need to understand how to grow my strength and how to reach my full potential and understand my purpose in order for me to continue to walk into the passions that I've been called to walk into, right? We have to definitely sit around in a group of guys and have general conversations like this. Just be open, There's this thing, right? And I was watching something and I noticed, that a lot of women do get together and they have like places where they can just go sit down and just talk freely and release everything that's going on inside. But us as men, we have been taught that, if I show any of my weaknesses, I am not strong. But that's the opposite, right? That is the opposite. We have to show that I too get weak. I too want to cry. I too feel some sense of I'm lacking, I'm hurting, and be able to share it freely, right? And there's no judgment to it or anything like that, And we just got to understand that we need each other as men to continue to grow. And boys need to see men who are able to show their emotions in that aspect in order for them to truly grow up to be strong and grow their strength, so the next generation understands the development process of being a strong man, understanding how to grow their strength, understanding how to develop their emotional intelligence in their lives, right? We can't hide these things back anymore. Like I said on one of my other episodes, I'm out of my comfort zone. And being out of my comfort zone means I'm willing to show that other side of manhood, because most men, we want to portray that I'm tough. We want to portray that I have it all together, when a lot of times we don't. I'm going to just be honest, we don't. I was at a point in my time in my life where I was broke down. I was hurt and a lot of things bothered me. And I didn't know how to release that, because I didn't know how to release that showing that I was weak. I didn't know how to release that showing that I was vulnerable as a man. But it's okay to do that, right? So I started getting with a couple people, a couple of my other brothers, and we started talking. And one of my brothers, he has a show called Dear Trauma, right? And we actually talked and kind of got a lot of things off my chest, off my heart, and everything like that, as well as he did also. But I say this to say, we need those environments where we can continue to nurture and develop and grow and understand how we grow and truly grow our strengths in life, right? I don't care what area you're trying to go in, what area you're trying to develop yourself in. We need to know and understand how to grow our strengths, right? If you have an outlet where you can go to and you can sit down and you can learn and you can get new understanding, new knowledge, new wisdom for yourself, then you definitely should take advantage of that, right? Because it's a lot of things that are going to help you to grow and understand your strength, right? Me, myself, I like to do a lot of reading, a lot of research, um, gain a lot of information. And that's just in general itself. And that helps me to understand my strength, right? One, uh, 1 or 2 weeks, I might be reading this book and getting great strength and great information and knowledge on how to grow in that area. And then the other 2 weeks, I might be reading this book, right? But it's something that we have to have in our lives if we're going to reach our full potential of success and have a changed mindset on how to grow our strength and how to develop ourselves as people in general, right? And that's what makes us better in society, right? Because I have to understand myself. You have to understand yourself. I have to understand my weaknesses. I have to understand my shortcomings. I have to understand my downfalls, my faults, myself personally, before I can actually understand my strengths, right? I have to bury those things in the ground, fertilize them, and continue to water them in order for my strengths to grow properly, right? So that way they bloom and they blossom, and I can show somebody else how to grow their strength, right? How to develop their strength, how to uh, learn from their weaknesses in order to get that lesson out of that, in order to uh, continue to move and grow in their strength, right? And that's what it's all about in general in life. It's a constant growth in life. You know, things that I did when I was 12 years old, 13 years old, I definitely would not try them now uh, at 50, right? And that's just something that we have to learn, right? At 12 and 13, I probably would have tried to hold it in and seem like I was tough and rough. And, you know, if I fell off the bike at an early age, you know, we were taught, don't cry, get back on it and ride it again. But somewhere along the line, we just said, you can't fall and cry. But it's okay to fall and cry as long as you are able to get back up, dust yourself off, get back on that bike and continue to ride, right? And that's life in general. We have to pick ourselves up in order to get back up and continue to ride the ride of life until that's it, right? Like I tell our children, I'm here for you until I'm not anymore. And that saying that means I'm here to help nurture you and grow you until I can't anymore. Once that stops or somebody puts up a blockage, then you can't help that anymore, right? But that's what we should be doing and we ought to be doing in life as parents, as people. But a lot of times we don't get that from people. We don't get that true person, because a lot of times we have to put on this facade, like I said. You know, we have to put on those things of, you know, I have to fit in a certain way this way. I have to fit in. And if you have somebody in your life and that person is constantly encouraging you, constantly empowering you, constantly motivating you, constantly inspiring you, then you definitely should keep attached to that person. Keep locked in with that person, because that person is going to continue to hold you accountable when they see that you're falling back into the weaknesses of life, right? It's like if I have a habit, a bad habit, right? If I have a bad habit, if I'm always falling back into that bad habit, I don't know how to really truly go into my good habits, right? Because they're not developed, they're not nurtured. So I'm comfortable and I'm content with my bad habits because that's what I know, that's what I like, that's what gets me going. I like those type of feelings and things like that. But once you start to drop those bad habits or drop that weakness and start to learn new habits, understanding that your new growth is a part of your new learning and development of your strengths, then it'll take you further than you ever could have imagined, ever could think of, and you'll feel the newness of who you are truly in life, right? But you have to shed those things away, right? Let those things go. Become new in who you are, right? In developing yourself, developing your mindset, developing your full body, right? It's MBS, mind, body, and soul. You have to develop all three in order to continue to grow in this life and be who you truly are in this life. So my take on life and as who I am is just to be upfront. Be somebody that I like to joke, I like to laugh, and that's a part of my strength is to help other people. And when you start to develop your strength, it's like something inside of you says, okay, click, that's it. This is where I'm supposed to be right now, right? This is my purpose and my passion. And you'll have a certain thing about you where other people actually come up and they talk to you out of nowhere, right? Just generally come up to you and start talking to you because they understand that you understand who you are and how your life is supposed to be, right? And you're trying to reach that full potential. And they'll come up and they'll start asking you questions without even asking you questions. They'll have certain things to say to you because they want to know also, how are you unbothered? How are you so comfortable with who you are in this life, right? And that's just the way it should be, the way it ought to be in order for us to continue to push to the next level of our life, right? And see, and growing my strength is something that I had to learn and had to develop and had to actually stretch myself out. I had to stretch myself out. And did it hurt? Yes, it did. It hurt stretching myself out and being pulled and tugged from within myself in order to actually come forward of who I truly am, right? Somebody that, I had envisioned that I could become. But that's because I had to understand my weaknesses, understand my faults, understand my shortcomings, understand where I lacked at personally, because these are all the things that hold us back. But we don't want to acknowledge that or put it out on the table and say, look, this is where I'm lacking. This is, the things that I need to attack in order for me to grow my strength in whatever area I'm trying to go into, right? I can't try to open up a business and I'm bad with money, right? You can't do those things. So you have to understand where you're weak at and where you're strong at. And once you truly understand that, it'll be an ease upon your life because you'll know that this is my strength. Okay, I have a business, but I know how to spend my money right. I'm trying to get an education, so I know how to deal with my time in order for me to study. It's certain things that you have to just put off if you're going to grow your strength. You have to put those things away, put those things to the side if you're going to grow your strength, right? If I want to own a house and things like that, I have to stop going out partying all the time if I want to be a better me. It's okay to miss the party. It's okay to miss the function. It's okay not to turn up every day. It's okay not to be lit every day because you have a different purpose. You have a different call. And there's no problem. There's no issue with it if you're doing exactly what you should be doing for your life, right? Because see, I had to change my mindset about that. I thought, getting high, drinking, partying, chasing women, doing these type of things were the things that I was supposed to do. But the reality is that was a weakness. That was a weakness. And I had to put all those things away in order for me to become stronger. And a lot of people don't want to say that. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. But that's a problem that we have in our community, that we're too busy chasing other things instead of chasing who I should be and how I should be, the way that it fits me, right? Because I don't want to be somebody that's imitating someone else because, we oftentimes we imitate what we see, but I don't want to imitate somebody that I saw. I want to be who I'm supposed to be, right? I don't want to be an imitation or a duplication, and you shouldn't want to be an imitation or duplication. So in order for you to be who you are, you have to understand your strength. You have to understand your weaknesses. You have to understand, who you really are inside, so that way you'll know who you are. And a lot of times, because I used to be one of those people that say, I am who I am, but I didn't know who I really was. I didn't know who I really was until I started chipping away at myself, until I started chipping away at those things that were weighing on me, right? Once I start chipping those things away, then I really start to know who I was and who I was becoming. And that is the greatest feeling, to know who you're becoming, because you understand the newness that you're going into, that you're walking into. You're understanding the mindset that is now being developed in your mind, right? It's like, a baby. When a baby is born, and, it being Mother's Day, of course, when a baby is born, they nurture that baby. They give things to that baby so that baby can have a understanding and development mentally, right? And we sit down and we talk to the baby, we read to the baby, we sing to the baby, and we're growing that baby. Well, even if we're older, in our older age, we still have to grow as who we are, right? We have to grow mentally. We have to transform ourselves in order to truly understand our strength and truly understand, the areas that we need to work on in order for us to strengthen ourselves. And that's basically it in a nutshell. If I want to learn how to grow, and this is like a conversation that was sparked up between me and my a friend and I, right? And so these are some of the things that I just was talking to him about. I have to acknowledge my weaknesses, hold myself accountable. It's self accountability, right? In order for me to truly understand how to grow my strength and how to grow in being the person that I should be, right? And that's not a bad thing. Oftentimes, we don't want to truly grow and develop ourselves because we're afraid of it. We're afraid of what the goodness I might become, the great person I might become, But what are you waiting for? What are you afraid of? Who should you be afraid of? Whom should you fear? Nobody. I don't fear nobody when I'm trying to develop myself and grow myself, right? Because it's for the betterment of me. And that's it. It's not selfish. It's just simple fact. You're trying to grow yourself, then you're going to have to cut off a lot of things. You're trying to grow yourself, then you're definitely going to have to improve in certain areas, right? And that's a good thing in this life, man. This is a Conversation Kings. I'm your host, Dominic Emerson. And as always, like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right? Where you can get great content like this, man, to just continue to understand how to grow your strengths and what area you need to grow in. And you'll see the change in your life. You'll see the change in the people around you, because you'll start to develop in certain areas where they didn't expect you to grow at, because your mindset has changed. Your focus has changed. Your vision has changed. And it's up to you to walk into it and enjoy it. So enjoy all of it. This is the Conversation Kings, and I'm gone.